Today is a sad day for all you Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore fans, because not only did you learn that the Japanese version was going to be censored last week, right? But you also learned that Nintendo has no plans to change it. And Nintendo is offering refunds to counteract any disdain for the game. So basically, Nintendo is at fault for misleading people and not marketing that the game itself was going to be censored on both the Japanese Nintendo Switch and the North American Nintendo Switch. So it's a worldwide censor. So via Angry Gamer, he says, if you pre-ordered the Japanese version of Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore because you originally thought that the game was going to be based on the uncensored Japanese version of the Wii U title, you made a grave mistake. So I told you guys last week what you need to do. You need to go get the Japanese version of the game, which I got, right? So I'm gonna show you guys in the video that, I have the Japanese version of the game. And I order it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to patch it, and I'm going to make sure that, it's in English and it's uncensored and whatnot. So translation patch, obviously. Nintendo had to come out and apologize for misleading people into believing that the Japanese version of the game would be true to the Japanese version that originally released on the Wii U. And, this is something that we're seeing completely with Persona 5 Royale. Sony and Atlus are really hush-hush about the game. They're not releasing much information about it. There's very little gameplay aspects to it. We don't know how it's going to release, but we do know for sure that the Japanese box art was different from the Western box art this time last year, 2 years ago. So, they're not giving us much information. They're really on the down low, on the hush-hush with that. Sure, there was a few gameplay moments at the Tokyo Game Show, right? But that was only a snippet of the full game. So, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if Persona 5 is also going to be censored. But I have, I have a 90% feeling that it is going to be censored. I think 95 with the news that we're getting right now. And I was telling you guys that I want to give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt, and I want to because it's just Atlus on the Tokyo Mirage FE Encore, right? So maybe it was Atlus who had to do the censorship, but no, a few days ago we learned news that UNO, a game that one Angry Gamer was reporting about, was censored in the West, and it was also on Nintendo Switch. So much for Nintendo stating that there's going to be no censorship on the game. Let's just continue the article here. Japanese Nintendo picked up the translated apology from Twitter user Black Kite, who in turn spotted the apology over on the official Nintendo of Japan website. The apology reads, "We hereby apologize to customers for the mistake and for not delivering enough information regarding the contents of prior notifications for幻影異聞録 FE Encore. The software for Nintendo Switch scheduled for release on the 17th January 2020. Well, we're getting awfully close to launch date. We're like less than 60 days away from the launch date, and they had all these people do their pre-orders, and this news came out on the down low. So if you're a casual fan in Japan and you're just excited for the game, you're not going to know what's going to happen. You're gonna get the game and you're gonna be like, what the F, So it's good that Nintendo is offering refunds. Supposedly Nintendo is a company that rarely offers refunds, but that's not the experience I had with Nintendo. I had a literal, graphical error with the first Fire Emblem on the 3DS. And, I told him I need you to back up my save data. I had like, I don't know, I think I had like 85, 87 hours into that game. And they said, no, we can't do that. We don't have the technology to do that. So I looked on a Chinese website, and I found a place where I could probably save my data. I found a gadget, but it costs really too much for that, $1,200 for that 85 hours. So I was like, what am I going to do? So what I did was they offered me a refund. They offered me $65 refund for the game, or an exchange of the game, brand new factory fresh cartridge, right? So I took the cartridge, and I was secretly hoping that somebody had put my data on there, but nope. So anyways, they do offer refunds, but I think it's for if there's something wrong with the game. I think their policy states that too. So I don't know if it's satisfaction with the game. I don't know if they would offer refunds for that, but they do offer refunds for broken games. So anyways, let's continue. Okay, so the title adds new features into Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE, released in 2016. Oh, the same year as Persona 5. So that's why, when I was looking at store shelves, I was like, oh my god, there's this game right here and there's this game right here, but the art is very similar. What's going on right here, But it's really common for Atlas and Nintendo to release games simultaneously on the 3DS and on the platforms like PS4. The Western version of Gine Ibn the software for Wii U that was released in 2015, we are proceeding with the development with a worldwide common specification and aiming... Oh, you see, worldwide common specification. So that means essentially that they're, one world order. So, they're adopting the bullshit SJW speak right now. And what they're doing right now, it's not inclusive, but it's exclusive because they're alienating fans. Because some fans really enjoyed the uncensored version. If you're gonna give me an updated version, you better have the option for a patch. Like that's what many adult games usually offer, an option for a patch. And let's be honest here, the theme of Tokyo Mirage FE is about battling demons and stuff. It's a pretty dark game. I wouldn't suggest it for kids because you can give them nightmares even with the censored crap. So why don't you just make an option for the uncensored version with a patch? But they don't want to do that. They're like, it's my way or the highway. So with a worldwide common specification and aiming for a worldwide simultaneous release, you can enjoy Japanese language voices in the game. Well, I think that's the common standard for people living in Japan. So I don't see how this falls into importance at all. However, despite that, on the promotional activities for Jine Ibun Roku, FE Encore, we did not inform from the beginning that this title would be based on Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE. Okay, so what? That doesn't make any sense. Probably a mistranslation or something lost in translation. But considering that the game is called Encore, you would assume that the game would be based on the original Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE. But the thing is, you hid that. You hid the little factor that we're not going to base it on the game. We're just going to give it, the same name plus something additional. When everybody thought the Wii U was actually a Wii expansion. This is what these people are doing right now. So you can't blame people for thinking that this game was an enhanced port, okay? And you know, you'd purposely hid the information from people so they wouldn't know. And also in the official homepage, we mistakenly posted game screenshots from the Wii U domestic version of Jine Ibn Roku FE that wouldn't have been included in this title. Okay, so what this tells me right now is, you know, they were thinking about censoring it, you know, and somebody finally pushed them over the edge and told them, okay, you need to censor it. So they're not doing this as a mistake, okay? They're either doing it for marketing purposes so that people would pre-order the game and, you know, relax knowing that it's not censored, or, you know, they were on the verge of talking out something, so they put that as a placeholder. You know, they weren't sure what they were going to do. They were probably leaning to uncensored, in my opinion. Or they can be misleading. So which one is it? Are they misleading? Are they, were they on the verge? You know? So the situation caused a misunderstanding to our customers regarding the content of this title. Well, you should know, you're Nintendo, okay? You've been a company for, you know, several, you know, 100 something years. You guys should know what you're doing instead of misleading fans. You know, now people have to, you know, make articles for this and spread the word, because the casuals, they're not gonna know what's gonna happen. You know. So on the 10th of October 2019, I have to correct this because it's basically English, we performed replacements of the game screenshots in the home page, and on the 17th, we posted that this title would be based on Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE. But we acknowledge that we did not deliver enough information to our customers from the beginning. Concerning this, for all the customers who have purchased pre-ordered Jine Ibn Roku FE Encore through Nintendo eShop or My Nintendo Store and want to cancel, request a cancellation caused by this matter, we will provide the procedures in this page at a later date. So the thing is, in Japan, you know, when you want to cancel a pre-order in store, it's a very difficult process, because they don't like it when you return something that's not faulty or when you cancel a pre-order in store. So they put pressure on the consumer to not return the product. So this is going to make for some interesting, you know, discussions with the shop owners, the shop patrons. You know, there's going to be a bit of pressure from that area of the industry. But on Amazon.co.jp, you can always cancel your order. So I don't guess that's a big deal. You know, it's not a big deal for Amazon orders. So, and then we will provide procedures. Okay. Concerning this, for all customers who have purchased, pre-ordered my eShop and store, want to get, okay. Yeah, okay. This is one of the most disgusting things to happen in gaming. During the, okay, this is One Angry Gamer talking right now. During the Nintendo Direct, both the Japanese and Western versions of the game were clearly based on the censored Western release. However, the Japanese version of the website showed a screenshot from the uncensored version of the JRPG, which led people to believe that the Japanese version would remain intact while the Western release would be butchered again. However, Nintendo issued a clarification noting that both the Japanese and Western versions of the game would be the same, and they would be both based on the censored Wii U version of the game that released in the West. So there you go. Social justice warriors strike again, you know, clamoring for censorship, and Atlas is bending the knee. Nintendo is bending the knee. So I have no doubt in my mind that Persona 5 is also going to suffer the same fate, because now they're going to turn around and say, we didn't mention that Persona 5 was going to be Persona 5 Royale was going to be based on Persona 5. And, you know, in the description of Persona 5 Royale, they said that they rebuilt the game from the ground up to accommodate the new characters, so the story is going to change. So because they said that for Persona 5, that gives them leeway to actually change the aesthetics of the game as well, because they reworked the title. So if anybody says anything, they're going to say, oh, we didn't say it was based on Persona 5. We said we reworked the entire game from the ground up. We rebuilt, or no, they created a whole new game from the ground up. That was what they said. So they can use that as an excuse to say, oh, well, we didn't. We said we made a new game, and we didn't base it off of that. Sorry for the clarification, the late clarification. So Nintendo, okay. Basically, Nintendo is forcing Japanese gamers to accommodate their cultural sensibilities for the social justice warrior influence censorship from the West. Yes, and that is absolutely true. One angry gamer, hits it on the nail right there. There are even some people defending the censorship and why Japanese gamers need to know their standards to the disgusting censorship practices of the West. Well, you see that, there's cultural appropriation, So manga and anime was first created as a way as an outlet to produce creativity. And much like novels in the West or comic books in the West. And but the Japanese had a different way of doing things. They would do things uncensored, and they would do it with no politics in mind. So there was no political machinations behind their anime and manga. And, I talked to many Japanese people, and they were really proud to say that, manga and anime have no political influence and whatnot. Whereas in the West, they're trying to push censorship because they're trying to raise the women to a higher plateau, raise the women and the girls to a higher plateau, and they're trying to make their character, more manly and whatever, and not showing skin, not being girly, they have to have some type of main role in the game, they can't be feminine. And that's exactly what Nintendo is doing right now with Atlas. They're just following the social justice warrior narrative. But if you remember what I said in the prior video, I said that the succubi were censored. Why would you censor the succubi? Because their only purpose is to make people do sexual things, right? So, and now you're getting censored succubi all of a sudden. And not only in the West, but you're getting it in Japan, where Japan, it was known for its games like eroge games. They're the best for that, So this is quite disturbing how the West has influence on power on Japan, in Japan. I remember there was a Tomb Raider PVC doll, and it was based on a Japanese model created in Japan. And what happened was a Western woman said Japan won't get away with it. Eventually, they're going to have to abide by our standards. That's because there was a doll, a PVC doll, not Tomb Raider. It was actually the blonde girl in Metal Gear Solid, I don't know, 5 or Metal Gear Solid 4. It was a blonde Dutch girl. She was beautiful, and then she's like, she posted a response to the haters. She was like, whatever. So now our worst nightmare has come true. The West is being a bully to Japan. Okay, so let's talk more about the article. Ultimately, though, Japanese gamers and everyone who values freedom have every right to be incensed at the fact that Nintendo could have avoided all of this by allowing people to have the option to purchase the uncensored version of the game. If either Atlas or Nintendo wanted to appease the frail-hearted censorship apologists so much that they would have given them the Western version while leaving all of the other content intact for the Japanese version. to further accommodate Westerners who hate censorship, they could have added an English option to the Japanese version. This way, it's a win-win situation. People who hate the video games and people who never would have bought the game in the first place, such as social justice warriors and game journalists, can be satisfied knowing that the Western version is still censored, and then the people who actually play video games would have been happy being able to access the full version of Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore, which would have included the missing DLC and all the proper outfits and all of the proper story elements. Well, that's one thing I would agree with for one angry gamer, but I would also push for a patch. I hope that the outrage gets to a point where Nintendo not only issues refunds, but they also make a patch to accommodate the outcry. Okay, so right now Nintendo is giving you my way or the highway, an ultimatum. So you either want to play this game censored or you don't, right? Here's your money back. If you don't want to play it, go away. And I find that to be incredibly distasteful for in my opinion, right? So Nintendo was clamoring and claiming, just a few months ago, that censorship limits the ability of an artist to produce what he envisions. And now look at this bullshit here. Bullshit. Unfortunately, Nintendo and Atlus seem to want to throw money down the drain and are looking to make Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore a complete sales failure, both in Japan and the West. Well, I was like, what you can do is you can buy the Japanese Wii U version, okay, and then you can patch it using homebrew, okay, and then you can play the full version, no problems, bada bing, bada boom, patch it with English, and you can get the ROM off of the internet, but I don't recommend doing that. I recommend supporting a creative vision that was untouched, and by purchasing the prior version of the Japanese game, you can send a message to Nintendo, okay? Let's send a message to them. Let's not buy Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore and just buy the prior version. That's what I did right now, so I'm going to show you guys the game when I put this video together. I'm really grief-stricken that, first of all, at the hypocrisy of Nintendo. But I told you guys, Nintendo, they'll backstab you, they'll twist a knife, they don't care. And Atlus, I'm pretty sure there's some interesting conversations between the devs and the SJWs, and this all has to go back to Twitter and some strange-ass forum that people frequent. So, anyways, this was HentaiHappy. Please heed my words. Purchase the Japanese version of the game on Wii U, and then up-res it using the M Classic. And, you better start working on this right now, because I'm pretty sure the Japanese Wii U Wii U version is going to be sold out, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be scalpers that are going to drive the prices up to astronomical proportions right now. Alright, guys, take it easy, have fun, love you, bye-bye. I have a cold. Yes, good day. It is HentaiHappy, and I have some news